Hello, Coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with this report from the Spanish journalist Jose Alvarez from Marca, who claims that Barca president Joan Laporta exploded after the draw against Inter Milan and he was calmed down by his vice president understands. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about Robert Lewandowski, who is reportedly keen to bounce back strongly in El Clasico, saying that we have to show we are going for La Liga. We are also going to be discussing on everything he had to say. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. FC Barcelona's recent draw with Inter Milan means the Catalans are almost on the brink of elimination from the UEFA Champions League. They are running the risk of getting knocked out of the group stages for the second consecutive season. While such a record will have major financial repercussions, it will also lead to a massive loss of prestige, especially for a club regarded as one of the biggest in world football. As such, Barcelona president Joan Laporta had hidden no emotion after the club's catastrophic result against Inter Milan. According to Jose Alvarez of Marca, the Spaniard had exploded in a fit of rage, after the draw, and was very furious with coach Xavi Hernandez along with some of the players. The Catalan club's president had to be calmed down by directors Matteo Alemany and Yuri Cruyff. Although Laporta has still retained faith in Xavi, the club president was not happy at all with the performances of some of the players. Veterans such as Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets in particular have become scapegoats within the Barca ranks in the aftermath of that result. Laporta also feels that his new project is crumbling already, just a few months into the new season. Not to mention, Barca also face economic pressure and anxiety, especially after spending fortunes and fortunes in the transfer market this past summer. Indeed, recent reports indicate that the club will have to repay massive debt and timely payments to sponsorship partners, including Sixth Street, who had acquired 25% of club's TV rights earlier in the summer. While Barcelona have the means to sustain themselves without going into bankruptcy, their risky financial move have to be backed by performances on the pitch. However, with the club now on the brink of elimination from the Champions League, there could be dark months ahead for Laporta and co. as they look to balance the books in the upcoming winter transfer market. It was really frustrating without a shadow of a doubt how the game went about at the Camp Nou on Wednesday night, and I definitely understand Laporta's pain, the way he exploded according to this report. It's something to be angry about, because him being the president, he understands the kind of risk Barca went through in order to ensure that the transfer window was the way it was. Like, come on, we went so powerfully in that transfer window, bought quality players, activated a lot of economic levers, but what is there to show for it? What's there? Just to give us a very bad performance that we can't even see the round of 16 at least. Come on, it's terrible. I know. So this report claims how Laporta was so mad, exploded, and he had to be calmed down by Matteo Alemany, the sporting director, and the vice president Johan Cruyff. So Jody Cruyff, sorry. So let's see how it goes, because normally before any season the club usually budgets like, okay, in the Champions League we expect the team to reach this level, so we'll put this budget like this. But now that Barca will not surely even reach the round of 16, because what Alemany was talking about some months ago, that Barca had budgeted that they will reach by the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But now what we are seeing, the reality is we might not even make the next round, which means that the losses will be so bad. Last season we made losses because they also budgeted that the team will cross group stage, which they did not. So I don't understand how on earth. So let's see, it is what it is. It is true that we wanted to grow fast without going through a lot of transitions. That's why Laporta and the board had to take a lot of risk, high risk, to ensure that A lot of money is pumped in to buy players, to pay their salaries as well. So it's never easy. It's never an easy thing. And seeing how your team, after the hope, it seems as though the project is crumbling. But just to keep believing, patience, because I still believe that there will be a year that Barca will definitely do well in all competitions. So it's just that we cannot escape the reality and the nature of things. Of course, for the longest time, Barca have been down. So it's not easy that our wounds will be healed in no time. Because that's what Laporta was trying to do, right? Selling the club's part of the club's assets just to ensure that money comes. But all that now will be a risky endeavor. But let's see how it goes. As it stands right now, we have very slim hope, very, very slim hope to qualify. But definitely, I think most fans have already considered us out of the Champions League already. Then, moving on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona forward Robert Lewandowski has admitted that the team needs to change the mentality following the 3-3 draw against Inter, which particularly ended their hopes of further qualification in the UEFA Champions League. The former Bayern Munich forward spoke with Movistar Plus, saying that it's time for the team to face the reality and focus on the upcoming game against Real Madrid in La Liga. He said, after a bad game, you have to face reality in the best possible way, show that you can play good football and win, the Poland captain said. It's a bit of a difficult moment, but we know we have the chance of the Clasico, of going out there to win the game, show that we are going for La Liga, that we play good football, he said. Following that heartbreaking draw against Inter, Barca are looking down at the possibility of heading into the Europa League for the second successive season. Speaking about it, the Post said that the team now has the opportunity to take up a new challenge. He said, we have the opportunity to change our mentality, and that for our fans is a huge challenge. Lewandowski has scored crucial goals all his life, be it for Bayern or Borussia Dortmund for that matter. But when asked about the best game of his life, he said, scoring 4 goals in the Champions League semi-finals, must be one of the best games of my life, if not one of the best in history, recalling the 4 goals he netted against Real Madrid in the Champions League back in 2013. It must be remembered that in 2020, Lewandowski was the front-runner to win the prestigious Ballon d'Or. The forward, however, has cancelled that year due to the award was cancelled due to the pandemic. This year, the poll admits that Real Madrid Benzema is most likely to win the honor. And of course, asked if the Frenchman is one of the favorites, he said, of course, if they don't cancel it, Benzema, is likely to win it, he said. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.